Can you hear me? Are we in the same building? Let me see your yes or no if you can hear me. Oh, yes, you can hear me, Simisola. Thank you very much. Good evening once more. Happy New Year. Yeah, I knew that very soon a lot of us will be joining because I've been getting a lot of I can't wait, but now we're waiting. So I really want to appreciate every one of us that came on time. I've been here and I've been waiting for others to join in. Thankfully, thank you, Daniel. Thankfully, there is no waiting room, so everybody has access to join us as soon as she can, okay? Or he, whoever wants to join us. So my name is, in case you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Frances Aborigo, the founder of ShEmerge International, and your host for today. Aside from the fact that we'll be spending more time with Adaeze, CAV, we will get to know one another in here. So it's okay you start introducing yourself in the chat, but I'm really, really, really grateful you're here today, okay? Now, if you have any question, please put it together. I don't want to waste time. Put it together, drop it, and keep your mics off and videos in control so that you don't interrupt our speaker. Then the focus today is copywriting. This is a 2-day session, a 2-day program. After today, we're going to come back on Thursday. So we take our time, practice what we've learned, and come back to do much more, okay? Now, aside from myself, whom you've finally met, Frances Aborigo, founder of ShEmerge. What is ShEmerge? ShEmerge is a community of women that want to transition into tech and create balance while they grow in their career. They are also having enough time for their family. So we focus on women, especially young mothers. So if you are a mom and you're thinking, where do I start in this tech journey? All these Gen Zs are taking everything, taking over. You have every privilege as much as they are. So you need to start fast and start well, okay? So we are here to help you. We're here to support you. Ask as many questions as you can and make the most of this privilege. It's not easy to get CAV, Chukwu Adaeze Victoria, in here. And for the fact that she's able to create this time with us, please maximize it. So you get to know her more. If you clicked the LinkedIn account I shared with you in the group, you will know her by now. You would see her work. Just type her name on Google. You see quite a lot of work she's done so far. She's currently the graphic designer or the creative member of Tech Cabal. Please, if I did not introduce it very well, I don't know how the departments are inside. I know Big Cabal is big, actually. Yeah, Big Cabal, not Tech Cabal, but Tech Cabal is part of Big Cabal. So she will say more about herself if she's willing to, but relax, and it's not official, like you have to relax, ask your questions, feel free and learn, okay? So thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for joining us, okay? So I'm giving the mic, the seat, the pulpit, the table to CAV to take over right now. So while I continue to communicate the rest of the community members to join us. Thank you. Hi. Are you still with us?
I am.
Okay. I was
So what I'm going
wondering.
to do, I'm going to send everybody my account details.
Correct.
Yes, money for lateness.
Seriously.
Yes, people will pay
You
me for
know,
becoming late.
you will consider the fact that I understand that most moms are in the kitchen right now. Yes, they are.
Exactly.
So, but there's nothing we can do because if we move it to 8 o'clock, it's going to take into the night. So seven, let's keep to our time. But I'm
Mm.
sure they'll be joining us soon. Forgive, tender justice with mercy. But in case they continue to behave like this, please send the account.
All right. So, good evening, everybody. I saw a Daniel here, so I'm not sure whether that's his surname, and I don't know whether that's a man or a woman. So, just good evening, everybody. Um, copywriting. Copywriting is a skill that personally, I believe every business owner should have, or any designer. I'm a designer myself and I work with a lot of designers. So I truly believe that every designer, regardless of your level of expertise and regardless of what field you fall into, right? Copywriting is just one of those soft skills that I feel like everybody needs to have. And it doesn't even have to be like professional level copywriting. Just the basics is enough, and which is what I'm going to be introducing you guys to today. Copywriting is almost like is communication basically. The only difference between that and me talking to you in terms of like conversation is that one is written, the other one is spoken. That's the only like real difference between the both of them. If I'm having a conversation with you, I'm communicating with you, I'm speaking to you. The only difference between that one and copywriting is the fact that one is written and the other one is spoken. Okay, so now that we understand what that is, communication generally is very simply put passing information, right? Passing information across with the hope of receiving feedback. In this case, the feedback that you're hoping to receive, it can vary from awareness to engagement to conversion, etc. That's the kind of feedback you're hoping to get whenever you communicate via copywriting. Copywriting, the term itself, what does it mean? It's just basically writing with the intent to inform, persuade, or sell. Writing with the intention to inform somebody about something. That's you're just passing information across to say this is what is happening, or you want to persuade them to take action on something. You want to tell them, oh, sign up here, fill this form, or buy this item, or lastly you want them to sell, right? Your intention is to sell something, right? So either you create a copy around a product service that you want people to buy, right? Or you write copy that directs them to where they are going to buy the thing that you want them to purchase. Example of where copywriting is relevant or important is adverts. You've seen adverts where you have certain interesting write-ups on them and are like, oh my god, this is very interesting. Emails, right? So there are some I receive emails from Zikoko, and one of the things that I really admire about their copywriting or their content creation is the fact that every single email header is always captivating. There's always something amazing about the way they craft the header for their email newsletters. All right. Another example of where copywriting is relevant is landing pages. You create a page. A website is different from landing page. Oh, just FYI, right? You create a page where, let's say, you have a campaign and you create a landing page for that campaign, right? The copy that's going to go on there, it is part of what we are talking about basically, right? So another relevant place for copies is basically headlines. So headlines anywhere across the world. It could be newspaper headlines, it could be advert headlines, it could be any whatever, right? And then lastly, just for this class, there are other ways, relevant places where copywriting is important, and one of them is product description, where you want to describe, let's say you're selling skincare things or you're selling drinks or whatever, right? There is need for you to have copywriting skills in order to properly craft the description of your product. So product description is another example of a place where copywriting is important, right? So let's talk about the types of copywriting and what the goal of copywriting is. Then we can now enter into actually creating it. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time tonight because we still need to discuss design process. So types of copywriting. We have direct response copywriting. Direct response copywriting is very short. It's usually designed to get like an immediate action out of you. So when you see places where they say shop now, click here, learn more, buy now, those are direct response copywriting, right? They want you to take an immediate action. So usually crafted with like three or two words, right? That kind of gives the reader the message in a very short and concise manner. Another one is brand copywriting. Brand copywriting is usually the one you do on social media, emails, and so on and so forth, right? The essence of brand copywriting is to help the brand build its identity and also create trust in the minds of its audience. And then lastly, we have SEO copywriting. right? Which is where you craft your writing such that it ranks very high in search engines like Google. So you craft copywriting so that when somebody is searching for the nearest restaurant in Aguda, or the nearest restaurant in Surulere, nearest spa in Victoria Island, right? Your content, or your website, or your landing page, or whatever, immediately comes up. It ranks in like the first page of your search engine, which is like Google. Then what are the goals for copywriting, right? One of the goals of copywriting, like I mentioned earlier, is awareness. You want people to know something, you want to introduce something to them, or either you're introducing a brand, a product, a service, etc., or even yourself as a person, because it's not only products that you use copywriting to sell. If you have a personal brand, if you as a person, you want to become an influencer, you want to become an authority in your field, one of the things that's going to help you, that's going to help set you apart, is the way you craft your messaging, right? And so awareness is one of those things that copywriting can help you to achieve. Another thing is engagement, right? Copywriting helps you to capture the attention of your audience, and also helps you to create interest in whatever product or service you're trying to sell to them. Then lastly, what are the goals of copywriting? We have conversion. If you are going to sell something, like a product specifically, or even a service, copywriting helps to encourage people to take specific action in order to buy the thing that you want to, sell to them. Okay. So now let us start with creating copywriting, like writing copies that convert, copies that make sense, copy that helps you to do the three things I have just mentioned, which is create awareness, drive engagement, and convert from a curious potential customer to a and loyal brand evangelist. Okay. So the person that carry their name on your name on their head, and like, no, see, I trust this person. The product is really nice. In fact, just give it to them and go to sleep. That kind of evangelist is what we are looking for. Someone that buys the products, comes back again and buys, comes back again and buys, so continues to come back, and does not just buy your product or buy your service, but also goes and tells other people that, come and see, around Dugbo, come and see, this person is such an incredible person, or this product is such an incredible product. And I've been very privileged to have people like that are like, Adeze, no, leave Adeze. Adeze really knows her thing. She really knows how to design and all of that. So let's start from the beginning. One of the first things that people encounter when they read something is the headline. If they are reading a book, the first thing you encounter is the title of that book. If you're reading a newspaper, the first thing you encounter is the title of the head of that news, of the newspaper content. If you're reading an article, the first thing you encounter is the headline of that article. Same thing for adverts, flyers, banners, etc. Right? Um, one statistics that I've seen about headlines is that 80% of the success of your advert is reliant on your headline. So when you people read your headline and it is very strong, they are 80% likely to continue reading the rest of your content. So it is very important that you pay attention to what you create as a headline. Crafting attention grabbing headlines is how I titled this particular section, right? Because your headlines is just like you entering the room when people see you for the first time. They don't know you, they don't know how intelligent you are or how fantastic you are, but the first thing that they judge you with is your outlook. They check your hair, check your clothing, they check your smile. Are you smiling? Are you going at us? Are you angry? They check what you're wearing on your feet. They check your handbag, what the kind of laptop you are carrying, even down to how you smell sometimes. Right? If you come into a room and you're smelling bad, that's you have the way you smell has created an impression in the minds of people. So that's basically the work um of a headline. All right. So how do you determine what a really good headline is? It follows a couple of rules, right? So when you write a couple of stuff that you know is your headline, there are four things that you can use to judge if this headline is uh uh is going to fall under the category of good or great headline. The first one is the headline has to be specific, right? So your headline is not supposed to be vague, except if you are trying to be sassy or intriguing or something like that. But usually, headlines are supposed to be very specific. They're supposed to go straight to the point of what you're talking about. An example is lose 20 pounds in 2 months without gym equipment. That's if you are a fitness instructor and you are teaching people how to lose weight in their house, or you have like a training program that promotes exercise outdoor or something like that. So specific, lose 20 pounds in 2 months. It even gives you the exact amount of weight you will lose, and in the exact amount of time you will lose it in, and also the place. Indirectly tells you the place you're going to lose the weight, which is outside of the gym. All right. So another characteristic of a great headline is supposed to be emotional, because you don't want to sound like a robot. All right. So you want something that captures the hearts and minds of the people that are reading what you have written for them. Okay. Then number three, you want it to be intriguing. You want people to wonder, hey, what are these people talking about? And an example I can give to you is the secret ingredient your soup is missing, or the secret ingredient your tea is missing, and you are wondering, okay, what is the secret ingredient? Now you are more inclined to read the sub copy or the body copy. Okay. Then number four is solution oriented. Remember that when you are creating a product or a service, you are actually addressing the pain point of somebody somewhere. If you are creating Zobo, cold Zobo that is blocked or whatever, you are probably solving the pain of me being thirsty and needing sugar in the heat, right? So you want whatever copy you are creating to have something solution oriented within it. Okay. So an example of that is saying like the fastest way to land your dream job is go straight to the point. No wish washing, no town hall like Baba Blue inside. It's just straight to the point. Okay. So that's that on creating headline. There's a formula that people usually use. Let me copy and paste it for you. It, let me copy and paste it in the chat. This is a formula that some people use for creating headline. They usually like to add statistics like numbers and say 80 people, XYZ, and then add an adjective, a descriptive word, then add a keyword, then add a promise. Right? An example is 7 easy steps to design like a pro in 2025. Right? So now the number there is 7. So you know that, okay, as you're reading this content or you're reading this copy or reading this advert, whatever, you are going to be having 7 um, solutions at the end of the day. Then adjectives is steps to design, or let's say steps, easy steps. Then your keyword is design, because that's the main thing. That's the thing that addresses your target audience. That's the thing that I will read. If I'm not a designer, I'll walk away. Right? Design like a pro. And then the promise is like a pro in 2025. That's what you're promising them, that okay, after you have read these 7 easy steps, so you are going to be designed like a pro in 2025. So it's easy, it's direct, it's specific, it's emotional enough for the people you're talking to, and it's also solution oriented. I'm going to pause here. Do we have questions on headline? People of God, please use the chat feature. I know you're probably in the kitchen or doing something. Just use your left hand. Don't use the one use and touch my gear. Any questions on headline? Going once, going twice. You have go. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop it in the chat. Okay, I dare for you. All right. So the next part that I want to introduce you to is basically understanding your audience, how you tailor your message to your audience. Because here's the thing: if you don't know who you are talking to, you don't know how to craft your message. Remember, I had mentioned earlier that copywriting is communication. But the only difference is that this time around it is written down. It's not a conversation you have from your mouth. It's something you write on a surface. like a banner, a flyer, social media, and so on and so forth, right? So you're talking to people, you're not talking to objects, you're talking to human beings. So there's a need for you to understand who you're speaking to. I will jack this boy eye, walai. I will jack your eye. Sorry, I'm a mother too, so this okay. Let me focus.
Please don't jack anybody's eye.
I will jack his
I'll come
eye.
and take him. I'll take him so that you will focus.
The way I will block your number after, you will call me and not pick him up.
I'll trace you from social
He'll be
media.
with you. He'll be with you for 6 months before I come back and say, okay, I miss my son, give my thing back.
Yes,
So,
of course, now. You don't have option. You miss him.
we're,
Okay.
sorry, Jerry. We're talking about like understanding your audience. Okay. So an analogy I can give to kind of buttress my point is you if let's think about any 2 or 3 friends that you have, right? Let's say you are you need what kind of example can I give now? You need somebody to help you, let's say move houses. You want to pack out of where you are to another place. There's the way you will communicate it to those 3 friends are different, right? Because you understand their different temperaments. Go to Palo. You understand their different temperaments, right? So the way you would speak to one person is different from the way you speak to another person. So you might tell one person, I beg, come help me pack some of my things now. They try to come up for this house. Or and you can tell another person, oh, when you can't help me pack something, Jare, because you understand how they would how they would react to certain types of conversations or certain tone or ways of communication. You understand them. That's the same thing about your audience. You need to understand who they are so that when you are talking to them, it is relatable to them. They understand exactly what it is you're talking about. So the first thing that you need in understanding your audience is creating what they call a customer persona or a customer avatar, right? Your customer avatar has 3 things in it. Number one is the demography of your target audience. Number two is the psychography of your target audience. And number three is the buying behavior of your target audience. Now, don't let this overwhelm you. Okay, it might look a little bit complicated, but it is not. In fact, there are even some online platforms that allows you to impute this information in like a form, and they will generate a customer persona for you. They will generate an avatar for you. Okay, so let me just break it down, and then you can do your own Google search and look for these platforms. I don't There's one I know, but after you fill the form and get to a point, they now tell you to bring one thing, and I don't like platforms like that. Right, so the first one is audience demography. Audience demography is you understanding what the age range of your target audience is, right? So you will agree with me that if you have kids, right, the way you will talk to a 4 year old to 8 to 10 year old is different from how you will talk to a teenager that is probably from like 13 to 17. It's different from how you will speak to an adult, which is like 18 to 24. And it's different from how you will speak to, I don't know what they call them, but Agba, from 25 to 35. And it's different from how you will speak to your parents, right? Which are most likely from like 50 upwards. So that is what age range is supposed to do for you. It's supposed to help you understand what age bracket your target audience falls into. So that when you are creating certain words, using certain adjectives, they understand and are able to relate to them. Another part of your demography is the gender of your target audience, right? Your target audience, if they are male, there's a way you speak to them that is different from how you speak to women. That's just the way it is. You speak to men differently. If you're selling to men, your language is a little bit stronger, is a little bit more edgy, is a little bit more challenging, right? Because people the assumption or the stereotype is that men, like challenges. While if you're speaking to women, you are a little bit more persuasive, you are a little bit more trying to be a little bit more convincing than you would with a man. With a man, you challenge him; with a woman, you convince her in when it comes to copywriting. That's the stereotype around gender, right? When it comes to marketing, right? Then another thing under um others demography is location, right? So if you're speaking to people in Lagos, if you use word like Lasgidi, Eko Nibaje, etc., right? People in Lagos understand better than people in other states. If you're in PH, the way you will speak to people in Port Harcourt is different because they have certain slangs that they understand that we in Lagos may not necessarily understand. Okay, then there are also other factors, but when you search for that template, it kind of brings out a couple of other stuff for you to feel. Now let's talk about psychography. Psychography, it now has to do with, just like the word psycho, it has to do with the mind, right? So now what are the values that your target audience cherish? Do they cherish creativity? Do they cherish customer centricity? Do they cherish intelligence? Do they cherish education? Do they cherish balance? Just like, ShEmerge is talking to women that are mothers, that have kids. So there are certain values that ShEmerge will probably have that is specifically addressed to mothers, that mothers are looking out for, right? Mothers are looking out for things that make them feel safe because they want their children to be safe. Mothers are looking for something that maybe allows them have a little bit of time to rest, which is why I've seen that these classes are created in such a way where you have a break in between. Okay. Then another part of the psychography is your audience goals. What are their goals in life? Right. And then lastly, we have pain points. What do they pain them? What do they want? Like, what is the thing that is their problem right now that your product or your service is solving? Okay. So if you're wondering, okay, then let me do the last one, then I'll ask the, okay, let me just go over it. If you're wondering, oh, how do I even gather this information? You can create a Google form where you outline some of these questions and you present it to people around you and you gather that information. That's how one of the ways you can go about it, right? Then lastly, under customer persona, we have buying behavior. Buying behavior is what is their income bracket. If your target audience usually makes 500K to a 1 million naira monthly, right? The next thing you need to ask yourself is, what is their disposable income within that income? So if I'm making, let's say, 600K as a salary every month, my disposable income is somewhere around 10 to 20% of that salary. Let's just say 10%, which is 60K. So your whatever it is that you have that you are selling is most likely their income bracket, their disposable income bracket is going to tell you how much you should price your product. So if I'm earning 600K and my disposable income is 60,000 naira, if you're selling an outfit that is 60,000 naira, 50,000, 30,000, I'm most likely able to afford it. Okay. So where do they get their news from? Is also another part of the buying behavior. Where do they buy stuff from? For instance, if they spend a lot of time on TikTok, you need to be on TikTok. If your target audience spends a lot of time on Twitter, you need to be on Twitter, even if you don't like the platform. If your target audience spends a lot of time on Instagram, you need to be on Instagram. If your target audience spends a lot of time in shopping malls, right, you need to find a way to be in shopping malls. That is you noticing the pattern of buying behavior that they have and trying to make sure that you are positioning your brand and yourself in the best possible place. Then before you now write copies that kind of attract them to you within that space. Okay, where do they shop and what influences them? Another example. All right. So I think that's all I'm going to say on that. There's a couple of more stuff underneath it, but that's going to take a while, and this is already to 8. I'm trying to wrap this up really quickly. Mm, okay, so let me just copy and paste this for you. I don't know that's so. I don't know. Can you guys copy something from the comment section? I'm trying to make sure that I don't I don't
Yes, you can copy things from I'm also copying and pasting in on
the
YouTube
group.
right now. So yes, you
Oh, okay,
can.
okay, awesome, awesome. All right. So, that's that about that anyway. Now let's talk about the ADA framework. Now, the ADA framework is the framework that allows you to structure your copy in a way that gets you the result you're looking for. So, if we've talked about how to create the best headline, okay, now that you have created the best headline, how do you create like the body copy? Right? How do you go about it? You can use the ADA framework. The ADA framework is attention, interest, desire, and action. Once again, I'm going to copy and paste it for you, but attention, interest, desire, and action, right? So what does that mean? Attention. Attention is basically the headline. That is where you hook them. It's just like when you go fishing. I know that some of us have not gone fishing, but you used to watch the video now. If you throw hook inside the water, fish shop the hook, you hook on top of it, and then you reel it in. Okay, so the hook is the headline here. So that's I've already kind of walked you through how to create the headline. So that is the mean. That's the first part of the framework, which is attention. Starting with a hook, your headline can be a question. Your headline can be a fact. Doesn't have to be like it doesn't have to be a phrase or a sentence. It could be a question. It could be like you're just stating a fact, like 50 people, 50 people died of pneumonia this month, and you're wondering, oh my god, is that something preventable? Let me go and check what the sub copy is saying so that I will not die quick. That kind of thing. So number two is interest. You want to build curiosity. So another one of the ways that you can build curiosity is probably by sharing a story. Oh, one of my friend, there is a woman a couple of years ago I went to. If you don't want this to be you, if you see, I met a girl last week that, and then people are wondering, what happened to the girl, right? So what that's one of the ways you can build curiosity in your body copy. It can be something very short. You can actually write a story in 2 sentences. Okay. So another thing that you can use to build interest or curiosity is to offer statistics. Statistics work really well. So usually if you see some headlines that say join 25 million people that subscribe to this newsletter, now you are wondering wetin make 25 people subscribe to this newsletter. I go like see, especially if it's something you already have an interest in. Okay, then number three is desire in the ADA framework. Desire, right? That means that's you showing the benefits using emotional appeal. I've mentioned like creating headline using emotion before, right? So showing the benefits of what it is that they are buying. What are the features? If you're selling a product, what are the features? If you're selling healthcare product like this now, what are the benefits that I get if I buy this stuff from you? Okay. Then lastly, it is action. Closing everything you have said now at the end of the day, what do you want your audience to do? What kind of action do you want them to take? They call it CTA, call to action. So you can say click here to buy, or go to www.carrymyheaddeygo.com, right? But you need them to do something at the end of your, even when you're writing so much social media copies, right? And or maybe you're doing a carousel. At the end of your carousel, there should always be a call to action, CTA. So it could either be follow me for more, drop your thoughts in the comment section, A or B, which one would you choose? Did I this story I just told you, does it make sense? Or what is your opinion? Or did I do this thing right in this story? That sort of thing. Something that gets conversation going or that makes them take action, just like the word implies. Okay, so let me just do Papa usuals. Okay, so attention, interest, desire, and action. That's the ADA framework for creating a copy. Now, how do you now make sure that this? I'm just going to end with this one. But I'm going to also share the document that has the other English that I wrote. But yeah, how do you write persuasive copy? Right. So, what is the psychology that thing that makes you drawn to it, even if you don't actually want to buy? Just be like, think I just buy them, right? What's the psychology behind copywriting? Number one is usually when you focus on benefits, right? When you focus on benefits over features, sometimes you get more results. An example is saying this phone has 128 gigabyte storage. That's the feature. But then you can also say it in a different way using benefits by saying store all your memories without ever running out of space. Now look at the two of them. Number one is this phone has 128 gigabyte storage, which is interesting, it's fine. But some people may not necessarily understand how big gigabyte is. But then if you now go the emotional route by saying store all your memories without ever running out of space, you are able to draw more people to you emotionally. Number two, using power words. Power words are emotional, urgent, and trust building words. Emotional words are words like love, incredible, effortless. Urgent words are limited offer, get it now, today only, 20% today only, or like the one I did for my design course, where I said it was only 20 people that I'm willing to accept for my mentorship and design course. Only 20 people. And then it sold out like crazy. I had to do another 20. It sold out again. I did another 20. It sold out again. So right now, I was looking for 20 people. I got 60 people. And now I'm begging God to allow me, like, not swallow one truckload of Panadol, trying to get this job done. So that's the urgent part of power words. Then lastly, there's trust building words. Those are the words that help people to feel more relaxed that, okay, this person is not a scam. So words like guarantee, proven, certified, right? There's an ad I did recently for Credit Direct, owned by FCMB, and at the end, at the base of the design, it is licensed by CBN. Okay, so anybody that sees that knows that, okay, as CBN don't license this product, oh, that means I can trust that they will not bar me, they will not scam me. Okay, so number three is creating social proof. If there's a way you can get reviews and attach it to your copy, get testimonials, attach it to your copy, statistics, or even create user generated content. User generated content is where you inspire other people to create content about you. Let's say you have a marketing campaign and you tell people to record video of themselves saying or doing something. Let's say record a 1 minute video of yourself saying, I don't know what you want them to say, Sha, but doing something, Sha, right? And then whoever it is that wins will probably get a gift or something. That's you inspiring user generated content that somebody else creates about you. Okay, so you can add statistics to your copy as well to make it more attractive, more persuasive. You can add testimonials, right? That's part of creating social proof. Testimonials is somebody has said something fantastic about you, record it, type it out, or do a screenshot, attach it to your copy. So if I'm seeing that, oh, more and more people are saying something amazing about you, hello, I will buy. Because I'm like, okay, so if this, let's say my friend has said something good about you, I'll definitely buy from you. Just like if you want to buy something and are skeptical about it, but somebody comes and your friend or someone that you trust says, guy, I've used this, don't worry, that thing's fantastic. You'll be less doubtful about the quality of that thing, and you just go and buy, right? Then number four, overcoming objection. Okay, one of the ways that you can psychologically enter people's head and erase all doubt from their mind is to anticipate certain concerns that they have and immediately address it. And one of the ways that some people, especially service based people address concerns like this is to tell them that money back guarantee. You hear some people say, get this course, if you don't start seeing results in within 1 month, come and collect your money back. So you feel more rested that, okay, maybe this person is not really a scam. Okay, so let me just quickly run through the rest, just sharp. How do you edit your copy? You remove fluff. Fluff is basically all those additional words that are not necessary. If any word is not performing any real function in your copy, remove it. That's what they call fluff. Okay. Then replace jargons with jargon with simple words. So if there's really big and complex words in your copy, remove them. Put it, make it more simple. What is the synonym of this of gargantuan? What's the synonym? Synonym of gargantuan is big, Abby. So why are you putting gargantuan? Remove. I don't even know what that does the meaning. I don't know what that does the meaning, but remove gargantuan and put big instead. Okay, so make it easier for people to quickly read and digest what you're saying, because as time goes on, our attention span reduces. Even as I'm talking to you now, some people are already zoned out. because you don't have a large attention span to keep engaged with what people are saying sometimes. Okay, so another way of editing your copy: read it aloud, read it out to test how it sounds. If it sounds one kind, make adjustments, right? And then lastly, you can use apps like Hemingway or Grammarly to assist you in how your copy sounds, right? Then lastly, practice your copywriting skills, right? Build your skills by rewriting um some sentences. Let's say you see an ad and you are not sure that the ad actually sounds right, you can rewrite it and see how it sounds, right? Or you can pick any product anywhere and write a copy for it. That's how you practice, that's how you build your skill. Okay, so practice daily, study what great copy looks like. If you see any copy that you find that, oh, this is very strong, you can save it. Just look at what makes it sound right. Then lastly, ask for feedback. Share your work with people that are better at it than you, so that they can give you feedback. So that's basically all that I have right now under copywriting. I hope that you have been able to pick one, two, three, or five things that is going to be very helpful for you when it comes to copywriting. Francis, am I supposed to still go over design process tonight?
No, no, no. That's for Thursday. Yes.
Okay, okay. So does anybody have
The-
any questions around copywriting? Do you have a good understanding of it? Should I give you classwork?
Please give. Oh, there are students here.
I want to hear what they're saying. Please use the chat feature. Do you have any questions first of all?
Okay, yes, someone is asking question on YouTube. She said how she is a graphic designer and a product designer as well. So she asked the question, does this copywriting apply to product design? That's UI UX. Then the second question say, okay.
Can I
Oh, someone is
ask, answer
asking
the,
if you can
can
have
I
the one.
answer the first one while you're conceptualizing
Okay,
the second one?
okay, no problem.
Okay, so product designers, yeah, I feel like you open the way to more money when you have certain skills that are useful within your field. An example is, let's say you're creating the user interface of an app, right? And instead of using lorem ipsum, you actually create, or you propose that, hey, what I'll be needing for to create this app for you is the brand assets, images, icons, your color palette, and content in terms of copywriting and certain images or photographs, right? So you can literally say, I have the app design and copywriting covered, and this is my fee. So they pay you that so that you can impute whatever English is necessary in the app interface. So copywriting as a skill generally is useful for designers of all fields, in my opinion, because apart from it, you being able to make money off of it, you are also able to identify what is bad copy that might ruin the work that you have done. So imagine that your the person that you're working with gives you terrible copy. He gives you terrible copy. You are literally in a good position of authority to say, mm-mm, this copy does not work. I think this is what works best, and you are able to back it up with explanations that I've given you. That psychologically, people are more inclined to do this if you say it like this. So I hope that gives you a little bit of clarity.
Yes, yes. It's just like what I responded to her. In every aspect of business, there's a level of marketing.
Yeah,
Copywriting is the like the breath of the process. If you don't market your product that you design, how do you convince them to move from trial version to paid version?
yeah, yeah.
So copywriting is just like, I don't know if there's any form of communication that copywriting does not include.
Mm-hmm.
There is
Even
no.
when you're doing like your surveys and you want them to fill a form, do you understand? You want them to fill a form in order for you to gather information about the app you're designing or whatever. There's a way you will craft the message that will invite people into it. Somebody dropped a form on my community, CAV Design Hub, and the person was like, hey, fill this form if you know you did it. I'm like, do you think I have that kind of time? I should leave what I'm doing and come and fill form. But there's somebody else that dropped another form, and I was like, I go fill this form. It's just the way she said it, or he, I don't even know what gender they are, but it's just the way they said it that made this person that made me want to fill this person's form over this other person's form. The way the other person said it was more persuasive, was more, I don't know, more gentle, was more emotional, more help my life. I don't mean to be proud, but I just feel like it was I don't have form, but if you say it in a way that makes me feel like, okay, I'll be doing some sort of good if I fill the form, then I'm more inclined to do it. You're muted, oh Francis. Is there another question?
No, the person is asking if she can have a one-on-one with you. More like, I don't understand whether she wants you to review her work or ask a question, because I was like, if there's any question there on YouTube, you should ask it right away.
How much
And they're asking for classwork. This is your classwork,
okay.
don't they? It's not popular.
Okay. So now what first of all we need a product, right? So I want you to look around you wherever you are and pick a product. I'm not going to give you one singular product to write on. So just look around you and pick a product, any product whatsoever, right? Then look around, look at the product and find any benefits, any features or benefits that the product has. So what you're going to do now in the chart, you're going to write product dot dot, write the name of the product, then headline dot dot, write the headline, and then body copy and write the body copy. So the goal here is to build awareness. Now I mentioned earlier that there are certain goals that copywriting addresses. So sometimes you just want to build awareness. Sometimes you want to engage, want people to engage with you. So you use copies that invite them to engage with your content or invites them to say something in the comment section. Then lastly, you also create copy for conversion. You want them to buy something, right? So you could either want to build awareness with your product, you can want to engage people, you want people to engage with it, or you want them to buy from you, convert them from waka about to loyal customers. So you also need to, now for your classwork, to break it down again. Number one, you mention the product. Number two, you mention the goal of the copy. Do you want awareness? Do you want conversion? Do you want engagement? Then number three, you're going to write the headline. Then number four, you write the body accompanying body copy. Okay. So I'm going to review whatever it is that you share with me within the next let me give you 5 minutes. So 806 stroke 807, I will come back and start marking. Over 100. If you get anything less than 50, you're gonna need that outside.
Yes, that's it. Please, I've dropped the breakdown. That's the deliverables in the chat. So in case you missed anyone, the product, goal, headline, and accompanying body. So I'm doing the same for those on YouTube. So do your assignment quickly, and yes. Okay, so okay, yeah, I did that. So please, there's a way YouTube is when you drop in the chat, the live chat, it packs everything together. So just use your superpower to separate it and know which one is which. Okay, thank you very much. So now, so while they're doing the assignments, I just want to talk about something. So maybe we can talk about that. So people are using AI right now, writing copy. And I know that quite a lot of us are beginning to fear that copywriting is going to fade based on the fact that AI is becoming almost everybody's go-to, including WhatsApp has AI now. Now, I would like you to talk on that matter because as it is now, HR, people that are going to employ you are also aware that you use AI and they know how to fish out those that are using AI. And including platforms. There are some platforms you cannot paste AI generated. It's not accepted. You as a copywriter, pay attention to that. So now as it is, even though we're afraid that AI is taking over, more copywriters are getting paid far better now because they know that their copy cannot be seen as AI generated. So that's just my own view because I have a particular set of people, this African women commission, and they were saying something like, if you're going to apply for a grant or anything, don't even go near ChatGPT because we know we will find you out and we'll remove you. So that is why understanding copywriting, understanding how to pitch, convince, communicate is very important. And that's also to also use this opportunity to inform you that our copywriting training is coming up in February. So if you're not in the community, please pay attention. Join our community by going to our website, ShEmergeTribe.com. We'll drop the link in here so that you scroll all the way. Go to our website, ShEmergeTribe.com. Scroll all the way down. You see join our community. Get into our community and you know when there is an opening so that you can quickly jump in. Some people have already registered, even without announcing the opening. They have booked ahead of time so that they will learn copywriting. And that's why it's important for you to know what you're going into and why it's important. So those are afraid that AI is going to get better and take away your job. I would like our CAV to address that situation so that we'll know where we are on this matter. Yep. Thank you.
Okay. So one thing that I've discovered about AI is, apart from the fact that it simplifies a couple of processes, you still need to be learn the power of description. An example is when you want to use this AI to generate images, text to image generation, AI generation, where you type the kind of image you want and then it brings it out. I use it a lot, right, when I'm designing. One thing I found is that it tends to you need to be very descriptive about what you want before it can even generate it for you. So in a way, AI is still relying on me to provide certain information for it to generate the kind of images that I need. Okay. So another example that I can give to you, let me just use this analogy, then I will talk about the copywriting aspect of it. If I want to design something now, one of my process is I already do the ideation part before I now use AI to buttress the point. Emphasis on buttress the point. So the first step is already done by me. AI is just my personal assistant in this matter. So if I want to design, I've already gone to do my research about the product, the client, the company. I've done my research about the ideas that I want to generate. I go through maybe Pinterest, Behance, Dribble, even Google, and I just look for similar stuff that people have done. Check out, create ideas. I even sketch. So when I'm done sketching, that is when I now go to AI and now say, okay, this is the description of what I want in an image. And then I hit generate and it brings it out. I even take it back again to go and edit it again. So AI is just a part of my process, not that it takes over my entire process. Let's bring it down to copywriting. When it comes to copywriting, AI does not know your product, right? So you still have to describe your product to AI. So one of the superpowers that copywriters have is understanding the psychology behind their audience, right? Understanding the benefits and features of their product, such that when they now go to like a platform like ChatGPT and they want to generate copies, they are able to properly describe their target audience. They are able to properly describe the product, the benefits, the features. They are able to properly articulate the vision of the brand or the product. And then when you now hit generate, it brings out what is already going to support what you know. So it is when it even brings it out, you are not supposed to just take it hook, line, and sinker like that. You are still supposed to edit what it brings out to fit better again with target audience that you know. AI does not know your target audience. That's the human part that AI is still missing till today. So that's the angle that copywriters take advantage of. A lot of copywriters that I know are using ChatGPT to chop live. They are eating good. Even me, I see and collect money recently. 100K cash. Okay, so it is first of all, you understand. It's just like art, right? When you want to paint, you need to first of all understand the technical part, which is body anatomy, different brush strokes, different types of paint, all those things. When you understand them, right, even if you want to now go and use digital, you are able to cope better than if you did not understand that beginning part, or understanding the emotion behind certain postures or facial expressions and all of that. AI cannot do that one for you. That's the human part of everything you're doing. Sure, you get. So I advise that anybody that's worried about AI should capitalize on the human parts of whatever it is that they are doing. The parts that you know that okay, AI cannot extract it from real life because it is real life. They don't know your audience, like I said, and they don't know your product. They don't have your product description. So your ability to still explain it to AI, explain your target audience to AI, explain your vision to AI is still your superpower and it can never change. Okay. So I got a submission. This is already 8:09. When I never submit classwork, oh, that straight to the outside, front of the street. That's where everybody gonna need them. Okay, so that was a
Yeah.
joke, by the way, in case you're wondering.
Yeah.
Somebody says Oraimo watch. The goal is to create engagement in the sense that people should buy the product. So engage and convert. Okay. The headline, I don't quite understand the aspect of headline. And okay, so I don't get any of that at all. There's no content in it. Auntie, uncle, you not write anything there. Oh. You say you don't understand the aspect of the headline, so that means you came a little bit late. That's fine. I think this thing is recorded. You are able to just go back and watch the part I spoke about headline. So anybody else wants to share their classwork, or we should call it a day. You can call it 2 days first if we vex too much. I'll call it 2 days.
You can submit whatever you have now. Maybe you have the product, the goal, and the headline.
Yeah.
Yes, you can start off with something because there's no way you can get it right if you're learning without
And you're not
someone giving
practicing.
you input. Yes, just
Yeah.
look at what you have.
You need to
Bring it
practice
in.
and then get feedback. Yeah.
Yes, that feedback is very important for growth. So don't be shy. Just drop in something, then we move on. So, copywriting as it is covers every aspect of business, just like she mentioned, and you can't escape it. You can't escape it. Even your email, is some form of copywriting to convince your team. For instance, you're a product manager, you still have to write. Forget about the fact that it looks like marketing. But one thing you should also know is that graphic design is in the marketing department of every business. All those communications are usually to help the audience, your audience, know you, know your product. So whatever it is you're creating, whether it's a product or you're just there to design, you work hand in hand with the product designer, product owner, or the product itself, the marketing department to communicate. So your job is to make sure that people buy. You're there to make sales. So there is no way you can convince people. Okay, have you ever bought anything in the market? How were you convinced? Okay, so think about that in that aspect. How do I even keep my mouth to say those things? It doesn't necessarily have to be take a university course on copywriting before you do it. We all market in one way or the other. So think about that catchy thing about your business. You can share right now so that she can give you a feedback on. If yours is not good, you improve, of course, you improve. Then another thing, there's another trick I understand about copywriting is just like she also mentioned it, start with everything, write everything as it is. Even if it's a headline, write it as it is in your mind. Then start removing the fluffs and the jargons. You can minimize it. By the time you're done weeding out what is unnecessary, you will have something that is catchy. As long as there's redundancy, all the things that are repeated, once you're able to remove them, you will have something that is very good, prompt, and to the point. Then she dropped some formula for us, how to write a good headline. I think I should drop that as well for those that joined late. I'll drop it in the chat again so that you see the formula. Okay. Number, adjective, keyword, and promise. You guys were asking for classwork. Oh, you've got it. Do not shy away. Oh, someone has written something. Okay. Oh yeah, she's actually writing quite a lot. She has written for Colgate. Okay, let me move what she has written. Esther Friday has some stuff. Esther, why don't you join us on on Zoom so that you will be able to have your messages read and responded to quickly. Let me move your chat to your live chat straight to. She's dropping some things there. See, YouTube people, it's like next time we just go straight to YouTube. Okay, let me drop what she has written. Yeah, because of the way YouTube is, it just moves everything together. So I'm trying to make it readable by adding some form of paragraphs to it. Okay, so she dropped Colgate's conversion. Start your day fresh. I don't know what the number two conversion means, but I guess you're trying to explain the purpose. Okay, your goal for that. Then you copy behind it. So see if you can look at that. See what you can see while I bring in the rest. How many
Okay.
headlines do you want to
So
have it?
I think Emmanuel also mentioned his before hers. His came in at 8:13. So
Okay.
um I don't know why this Zoom it keeps jumping up and down.
Is it network?
No, like I'll scroll to where the thing is and then it jumps.
Go back up. Okay, yes, it
Yeah.
does that. Especially when you're
So
using a mobile device. It does that.
mm, okay, so from Emmanuel it says vendor hat and environmental friendly raw material is used. Okay. The goal is just to create awareness, target audience, married couple. Awesome. So um it says where style meets soul. Oh, lovely. I love it. Where style meets soul. So I think in this case, the what do they call it now? The imagery. The imagery will help us buttress the point a little bit more, right? Where style meets soul. Body copy designed for the modern couple who cherishes timeless elegance and the planets that we share. Oh, I love it. Okay. That's that for the modern couple who cherish timeless elegance and the planets we share. I don't know whether I want to use cherish because when you connect love with planet, it's easier to understand love than cherish for the planet, I mean. Because you're connecting that word cherish to two things, timeless elegance and planet. So you could want to you probably want to use something a little bit simpler because you don't already have timeless and have elegance, and those are like to some people big words. So designed for the modern couple who love timeless elegance, and love is another thing that is love as a word is another thing that is tied to couples again. So designed for the modern couple who cherish timeless elegance, who love timeless elegance, and the planets they share. Should we say they share instead of we share? They share. Designed for the modern couple who love timeless elegance and the planets they share. So I think the imagery will now be like a fusion of what the heart, a married couple, and the earth, some way somehow. Okay, so I think that should be that on that. Well done, Emmanuel. You did really well. Okay, so
Yeah.
Colgate toothpaste conversion. Start your
Okay.
day fresh and cool. Awesome, I love it. With
Okay,
Colgate toothpaste,
yeah. Sorry to cut you short on that. Still
yeah,
on Emmanuel's post. Okay, so
yeah.
I feel like maybe the body copy is a bit too long. If there's a way we can shorten it, it will be better. But
You
while
know,
you
it
were
depends on where it is going. That's another thing. It depends on where it is going. Sure, you get
exactly,
if it's like a Google ad, it might need to
yeah,
be a little bit shorter. But then
yeah,
if it's let's say an email or something, it's fine. So it depends. I don't think we should like streamline the length of the body copy because we don't know exactly what platform is going to sit on.
it's going to share. Yeah. Okay, okay, that's cool. While you were talking about reading it out, I was already imagining the scenario in case it was meant to be visual,
Yeah,
where the couple are standing. There are so many alternative options. Are you a graphic designer, Emmanuel? Okay, yes, you are. Okay, so I can imagine the illustration right now. Just like I think I saw one poster, some design you did I don't know recently, but I saw it on Google. You have this background that has kind of a rocky environment. Like the person went inside maybe a background like has cave, like there's wall, rock wall, and the moss is growing on it. I'm thinking of something like that that is natural, earth, and all that. So the
yeah,
couple are there smiling at each other for photo shoot, wedding photo shoot. That can still sell. So that one way or the other, there's some way you can capture the whole thing. It can be illustration, it can be human images. But that's really beautiful. And in fact, the direction he was going shows me he has some knowledge of graphic design.
yeah,
So, so over to the next. That's Colgate, right?
yeah. So this one says, such a day fresh and cool. I already love it. With Colgate toothpaste, you build your confidence. Okay, it's already having too many pauses. You build your confidence all day with our new triple action toothpaste. You are protected against cavities. Okay, so it's a little bit disjointed. You can say we start um with our new triple action toothpaste. You are protected against cavities. Full stop. Build your confidence with Colgate all day. You understand? So with our new triple action toothpaste, you are protected against cavities. Full stop. Then build your confidence with Colgate toothpaste all day. Or build your confidence all day with Colgate toothpaste. So you also sent in more, have a whiter teeth and the great mint taste gives no, that second part is unnecessary. So that first one does all the job. All right. Great mint taste, fresh breath. I think that first one is enough. All right. So the person that said something about Oraimo has come back with more. Get your code with toothpaste today. Okay. So that means if you are adding get your code get toothpaste today as a tag as a action call to action, you are repeating the word Colgate two times. Okay, and that's not what we want. You don't want a tautology where you're repeating one word multiple times within a copy. So you can say what's the word now? Sorry, I have to scroll again. It keeps refreshing. You can say with our triple action toothpaste, you are protected against cavities. Build your confidence, build your confidence, or build your confidence all day. Build your confidence all day with Colgate. Get it today. Okay, so you can say get it today. So it is still referring to Colgate, but you're not saying Colgate exactly. All right. So for Oraimo, the goal is conversion, and it says with Oraimo Watch, you can monitor your steps, keep track of time, and also monitor your heart rate. With Oraimo Watch, you can keep track of your time and stay healthy. Hmm. So I would like us to start with benefits first, right? Instead of saying with Oraimo Watch, okay. So you start with something that hooks you first. That says, um, keep monitor your heart rate, keep track of time, and count your steps. So we don't have monitor appearing twice. So you can say monitor your heart rate, keep track of time, and count your steps with Oraimo Watch. All right. So the other things I don't think they are necessary, to be honest, because we don't want it to be too long. If your sentence is too long, like I said, read it out. So if you get to a point where you're like, know that your copy is too much. That's how you measure it. If you are reading your copy out loud and you have to do right, your copy is already too long. Except if there's a way you break it down into sentences, or if it's an email, you break it into paragraphs, or if it's a social media caption, you break it into paragraphs, like short paragraphs of no less than 4 lines or three. No, let's just say 4 lines, right? In case you're telling a story or something. So I think that's about it. This is almost 8:30. So does anybody have any questions? I don't know, Francis, is this a good time to close the curtain?
Yes, that's fair enough. Yes, as long as there are no more questions coming in, I think we've done quite a number to this so that those that will be watching the replay won't have so much to watch. They will get straight to the point. So that's great. That's great. Please, anything, last word for this subject today?
Plus Jesus minus Satan. But yeah, so okay, at the beginning I had mentioned that copywriting is basically communication, right? The only difference is that you are writing it. So copywriting is these skills that you have basically acquired today with copywriting is useful even when you are managing, like just like Francis has said, you're managing a group of people. Knowing how to craft your word to sound a bit more emotional. See, you can even use these skills when you are talking to somebody. Try it on your husband or your boyfriend or your wife, or just craft this thing in your head and make it more emotional. You start collect more money. I don't know why we are only doing business here. You start, you start collect more money. But no, I'm joking. But yeah, copywriting is communication, right? It's communication that meets strategy. Okay, copywriting is communication that meets strategy. So you already have a brand strategy. You understand how you want to project yourself. So now copywriting is you now basically passing that message across to your target audience with the hope of receiving feedback. And that feedback is either, oh, we know we are here, which is awareness, or we want to talk to you and get to know you, which is engagement, or I will buy from this person, which is conversion. All right, so just keep all of that in mind, and I really hope to see us beginning to churn out more creative and amazing stuff from Nigeria to the world. All right, thank you and good night. Francis, over to you.
Yes, thank you very, very, very much. We really appreciate this. We can't wait for next session. I'm actually dropping the things that we will need after this. So please, the community is open for you to join in and ask more questions. So you prepare yourself before. And those that are doing the assignments, I don't think she will have time to review your assignments anymore. But if you join our copywriting class that is coming up in next month, you will have all these things. Maybe we'll have a private session with her if she's free, because I know she has a program coming on in February. So to even get her time to show up for us, it's going to be very, very big, except if you pay for the time. Then you pay her for the time she's going to spend with you. But that's by the way. Thank you very much, CAV. We can't wait for the next session because today's zone is copywriting, and we've understood that copywriting you don't need to break your head over it. You need to sound convincing, you need to be truthful, you need to put thoughts into your work before expressing. Remember, every form of business demands a level of copywriting. You're writing your CV, you're writing your letter, email. Okay, you're writing an email, what do they call it again? Following your CV as you're submitting them, your backup email or a cover letter, you have to write a copy, copy in some form of ways. So you have to be sure to convince. You're kind of pitching yourself everywhere you go. However, then there are some ways. Someone asked the question, I forgot to mention that on YouTube, what are the tools that you can use to learn and practice copywriting? She mentioned Grammarly. Grammarly is not supposed to write your copywriting for you. Start with your own knowledge. You know your audience. AI doesn't know your audience. So firstly, start with your knowledge, your ability to write your English, your spoken. You did English in primary school, you will not deny that. This is an English-speaking country. Even if you're speaking French, you shall have one way to write. So start with the basics. By the time you're done, you have your AI support to proofread it for you, where you have spelling errors, typos, and all that. It helps you correct it. Then another way is rephrasing. So you've written something and you're like, maybe the words are not so, it's not really expressive like I want or something like that. You can ask Quillbot. Quillbot is an AI tool that will help you recraft that thing you've written. But one way or the other, I can't tell if that one Quillbot has helped you rewrite, is it going to be recognized as AI written, or should you just face your front? Those that know better than myself can help me prove that, because there are apps that are meant to catch AI writers. But if it doesn't require so much vetting, you can use AI to review your work. If you're good, you're good. Now, let me tell you something that happened this Christmas period. So we're all writing this Happy Christmas, Happy Christmas. So some people generated with AI. You know, funny thing, they were all sounding alike. Immediately I saw this, I knew the AI that this person used to write this thing. And it's sounding alike because AI is one. And if you cannot create something unique, it's just like Flyer, you generate an image, you generate an image, another person generates an image, and you sat down to design properly, you will see the difference. For now, except if you have the money to pay subscription for higher version and you're doing image generated content, fine. Because I'm seeing some YouTube videos that are created by AI, and I'm like, why are people? Because you actually find out it's going to be very boring, so unemotional, so flat, so flat. Yes, no matter how much AI writes for you, just know that the one you do by yourself is going to be much better. Okay, so please do not underestimate the power of writing your copy by yourself. Then, as for tools as well, so you want to learn how to speak and write English, especially for those of us that are into public speaking, because you have a lot of talking to do. And those that want to write, it's going to help you in so many ways. There is this app I've used for many years. It's up to 9 years or 8 years I've been using it too. That's Elevate app. They did not pay me to market the app anyway. But Elevate app is actually one tool that has helped me, especially in writing and in speaking. You're going to do a lot. It's like game. You're going to play game and recall words. So for those of us that knows this student's companion, if you use this when you're in primary school, for those of us that were born in the 80s and early 90s, you know this particular book, Student's Companion. I still have that Student's Companion here, but you can find other online support. So this elevates so it doesn't cost so much. If you want to pay the premium, fine. I've used it for many years without paying for premium. It's just this year, just this month, I actually decided to pay the premium so that I can do more with it. So the premium is, just go and see. It doesn't cost up to 1,000 naira a month. It's like 700 naira a month. But if you want to get it for the whole year, it's about 7,000 or 6,500, which you can spend in one day. Now going to market, you can blow up that one. Or you want to pay and buy the app, finally, like you have it for life, there's the price for it there. But that's, by the way, that tool has helped. It helps me focus. Now, there are so many aspects of it you're going to test yourself on. How good am I in writing? How good am I with reading comprehension and finding errors when I write and read my work? Then there's also this other aspect. I'm beginning to feel like I should reserve some of these things for those that will be enrolling for the copywriting class. So we're going to go in depth in using some of these tools to see how you can get better with writing. Okay, not many of us were born writers. I don't fancy myself as a writer, not even till now. But one thing I know is that if the situation requires me to write, I do that. And I'll do it with confidence. Okay. So now we'll call it a day. We have 2 minutes, okay, 3 minutes now, beyond 8:30, right? So if you have any question about the community, please ask me. I've dropped the link to our website. You can browse around or go straight to our community and join us. More information will be coming to you. This month, we're trying to see how much we can empower you with more skills for you to be able to run independently and earn something throughout the year. This is January, and a lot of us are already experiencing anxiety. Anxiety has you new year has started. I don't want it to be like last year. The only way you can be able to run further is focus, relax, make intentional steps. You might start up with learning and empowering yourself with skills. Or if you had spent the last year empowering yourself with skills, it's time to start launching out. Practice, 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 practice. You can also offer to write for somebody. Do not underestimate that, because it's going to give you random assignments for you to get better. When you write for people, you understand different communication styles, different audience, and how they communicate with themselves. That while you're writing, you're seeing how people in that field talk. Maybe you're talking to lawyers, you're talking to doctors, you know how they communicate, then you start writing like them. So when you're called to speak in the public, trust me, you'll be able to talk to everybody or focus on the group you were called to speak to or write to. Okay. So please do not underestimate the power of copywriting and also the power of practice. Okay. So with that, I think I should say it's a very good time to say good night and have a wonderful rest of the week till we meet again on Thursday. Bye. Okay, so if you haven't introduced yourself, you can as well go ahead. Let me end the call with those on YouTube. Have a good night.